What's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel, the #1 place for new coaches, content creators, and entrepreneurs. In today's video, I really want to dive deep into the topic of Instagram. Specifically, if you're someone that's struggling on getting traction and eyeballs onto your content, then this video is perfect for you because I'll be sharing my top tips and strategies on how to make sure that you get the most reach possible and make the most out of your content on the platform. So if you're interested in learning my tips and tricks, then keep on watching. Now, the first tip that I have for you to make sure you're getting as much reach as possible whenever you post something is to create shareable content. Now, this kind of sounds like a no-brainer tip, but a lot of people actually don't know how to create shareable content and what shareable content actually means. Shareable content is beneficial for your account because you need to create content pieces that make it easy for someone else to share on their platforms as well. Not just liking and commenting, but actual sharing. And the reason why this is important is when someone is sharing your content, their audience then has access to your content, and that's going to increase the amount of eyeballs and reach that you're getting on that particular post or content piece. Now, how exactly do you create shareable content? Well, let me share with you a couple of tips that I have. Now, a lot of people are going to advise you to make captions that actually make people think or make people want to share. But the problem that I find when you're writing captions is that it's so long. And when someone is sharing that post, all they're seeing is the photo and not necessarily the caption. That's why what sometimes I like to do is I actually break up my captions and I turn it into a carousel onto my profile. Here's a really quick example of me doing it. All it takes is taking your caption and putting it into a notepad and then breaking it up into multiple pieces and turning it into a carousel. This is going to be really awesome because if someone really loved your caption, great. They actually have a photocopy of that caption that's going to make it easy for them to share on their story or any other platform that they have. So that is my first ninja tip for you when it comes to creating shareable content. The second ninja tip that I have for you is to create quotable moments. What this means is if you have a really engaging caption, which by the way, if you need help with captions, make sure you check out this video right here. But if you have an engaging caption, why not take one sentence of that caption that actually is really impactful and turning it into a quote that you put as a carousel in your photo? Let me give you an example of what I like to do. I actually have created a Twitter account for myself that has the username that is similar to my handle, and what I do is after every post, I actually create a quotable moment that makes it easy for someone to share. Because let's be real, not everyone wants to share the photo of you. Instead, they like to share quotes. And what I found in my account is actually whenever I post a quote on my profile, it gets a lot of saves and a lot of shares compared to my other posts, which is why I continue to do it, because that actually increases the reach on that piece of content, which then brings more profile views onto my Instagram profile. So if you're struggling with creating shareable content, these are the top 2 tips that I have for you to make it easy for your audience to actually share the amazing work that you're already doing. Now, beyond just creating shareable content on Instagram, another tip that I have for you that's going to help you increase your reach even more and get more eyeballs onto your account is using the right hashtags. Now, I talk a lot about hashtags in this video right here, so make sure you check it out. But I know that a lot of you guys right now have less than maybe 100,000 followers on Instagram. And for accounts that aren't really that big on Instagram, I highly advise that you do not use big, massive hashtags. The problem is when you're using hashtags that are way too big, you're gonna get drowned out by the competition. What I actually recommend is choosing the right hashtags that are niche, aka hashtags that are actually related to the content that you're posting, and also choosing hashtags that are less than around 500,000 in size. And the reason for this is when you actually get targeted in your hashtag strategy, you're gonna be able to achieve amazing results. I'm gonna share a couple of screenshots from my premium program, the Bossgram Academy, of some of my students who have actually used my premium hashtag strategy and have seen incredible results. And I hope that this is proof to you that when you have the right hashtag strategy, you're gonna be able to skyrocket your reach. Now, if you're interested in learning more about my program, the Bossgram Academy, make sure you sign up for the waitlist. Link is gonna be in the description box below. But for now, make sure you also snag my free blueprint so you can get more information on how you can grow your Instagram account and get more sales into your business. Now, moving on to another tip that I have for you to increase your reach on Instagram is kind of a no-brainer, but not a lot of people do, and that is to share other people's content. What I've noticed on my account is I've been able to really skyrocket the amount of traffic that goes onto my profile because I'm constantly sharing my followers' content. And what ends up happening is they're more likely to share my content, or they're more likely to share the fact that I shared their content. And what that ends up happening is that their audience is able to see my content on their profile and therefore visit my account because they're curious to learn more. Not only this, when you choose to share content of accounts that have a similar niche to you and they share you back, you're going to be able to tap into new audiences and get targeted traffic onto your account that not only benefits your content and boosts your engagement, but also is able to benefit your business as well. Now, so far in this video, I shared with you guys my top 3 tips when it comes to getting more reach onto your Instagram profile and content. And speaking of content, I want you to hit the notification bell because in my next video, I'm actually going to share with you some of my ninja hacks when it comes to repurposing your content so you can finally get off the content hamster wheel on social media. Not only this, if you haven't already, make sure you snag my free guide, the Bossgram Blueprint, that's going to walk you through how to turn your followers into clients on Instagram step by step. As always, guys, I appreciate you. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you guys have a great day, a great week, and a great life, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.